What is up, dudes and lady dudes? Welcome back to Just Nuts. Guys, today we are looking at more Selection 10 reveals, and this is huge. It throws this entire set on its ass. Seriously, okay? We have, I don't know what, like 10 SUNAVALON cards imported into the actual card game, not just from Link Vrains. This is one of the archetypes, probably paired with like armatos, legio, that have had like the most steam behind them in terms of like an anime deck that really hasn't been made yet, but probably should have been. So I'm excited to go through this, and it also throws everything on its head because I thought this was going to be 10 archetypes supported with 3 to 4 cards for each, because there was 35 new cards revealed, like confirmed, or that's what Konami like leaked to us. They said 35 new cards, but it looks like if 10 of them are here, then maybe the 2 Shaddoll monsters we got the other day, the 1 Galaxy Eyes card, maybe that's all we're getting for those archetypes, and we're going to get sprinkles in, 1-2 cards here and there for different archetypes. I'm still down for that because we're getting SUNAVALON, and that's hype, and I want to get reading on these cards. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this. We're going to start off with these. One other thing I want to say is I don't know if these are like official artworks that were revealed with this, so these are like confirmed the exact artworks they're going to use, or if Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization like took these off of, I don't know, like the anime and threw them on here. I have no idea. Because of the little logo in the corner, it makes me think that it's from the actual reveals and these are the actual artworks. Okay, that's enough talking. Let's get into it. This is Sunseed Genius Lochi. This is a level 1 Earth Plant normal monster, 0 attack, 600 defense. So it's a vanilla, and it reads a seed that can be harvested from the sacred tree once every 1,000 years. It is said to become the guardian spirit of its land after a millennium. Cool. All right, moving on. All right, next up we have Vine Maiden. This is a level 1 Earth Plant effect monster. She's very cute. You gotta love the artwork. 0 attack, 0 defense, and you can only use 1 of the effects of this card's name once per turn. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a plant monster or monsters you control that were special summoned from the extra deck, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, negate it. Second effect, your opponent cannot target SUNAVALON and Sunvine spell or trap cards you control with card effects. Okay, so this card's kind of giving you protection on a couple different fronts. Gives you that negate. Unfortunately, it doesn't negate and destroy, so if a monster targeted you, you couldn't just like summon this, negate the monster, and destroy it. But it's fine. It seems like an okay card. I don't know what the card did in the anime, but it's okay. It's an okay protection card, and then the protection it gives to your spells and traps, we'll see how important those are to the archetype in a bit. Next up, though, we have Sunseed Shadow. This is a level 1 Earth Plant effect monster. A lot of level 1s so far. Keep that in mind with like 1-for-1 and stuff. It has 0 attack, 400 defense, and you can only use both of its effects once per turn. First effect says if you control a plant normal monster, you can special this from the hand. Okay, that's a nice little extension right there. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your linked Link 2 or lower SUNAVALON or Sunvine monsters. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except plants. Also special summon 1 monster with the same name from your extra deck, but its effects are negated. Ooh, that's kind of cool. So if you had a Link 2 SUNAVALON up or Sunvine monster up, you would just get to drop another one. Now it does lock you into plants, but considering this is a plant archetype, I think that'll be okay, especially once we see what kind of stuff you can link up into. But that's pretty free material, you know what I mean? Like banish this from the graveyard and just drop, like plop another one. That's pretty cool, okay? So I like this. It jumps out of the hand and it gives you extra link fodder. I like that a lot. Even though the effect's negated, that's totally fine by me. All right, moving on here, we have Sunseed Twin. Again, a really cute one / creepy one. I can't tell if they're cute or creepy. This is a level 2 Earth Plant effect monster with 0 attack, 800 defense. You can only use this card's first and second effects once per turn. Each first effect reads: if this card is normal or special summoned and you control SUNAVALON Link monster, you can target 1 level 4 lower plant normal monster in your graveyard and special summon it. And the second effect reads, you can banish this card from your graveyard and 1 Link monster you control. So you got to banish it in the graveyard and a Link on the field. If there are 2 or more plant Link monsters with the same name in your graveyard, special summon 1 of them. Okay, that seems a little weird. Maybe there are specific lines where you go up, almost do like some reincarnation Link summoning almost, and then you end up with multiple engrave, and maybe you can just get 1 back. Okay, I'm not exactly sure the application on that. The first effect doesn't seem amazing because you do have to, 1, it has to be on summon, doesn't summon itself for free, but it also says you have to control a SUNAVALON Link and have a level 4 lower plant normal engraved to even get that extra material. So not entirely sure how amazing this card is. It seems okay just to me. So, and then we get into the extra deck. So we've got SUNAVALON Drius. This is a Link 1 Earth Plant effect monster. 0 attack, but it does point straight down, so that's pretty nice. And its materials are 1 level 4 or lower plant. That's pretty cool. That could definitely come up for plants in the future as well. Keep that in mind. It has 3 different effects. If this card is link summoned to the extra monster zone by using Sunseed Genius Lochi, you can add 1 Sunvine spell or trap card from your deck to the hand. That is clean. That's definitely a clean effect. I mean, that's just a hard +1. All you have to do is use the normal monster. Okay, that means like what is it? Unexpected Die is interesting here. Just to turbo that out before normal summoning, you get a free body and a search. Not bad. Second effect reads, you cannot, this card cannot be targeted by attacks, but does not prevent your opponent from attacking directly. Okay, so kind of does the, like, what is it, Legendary Fisherman type thing, I think, right? And then the third effect, once per turn, if you take battle damage or effect damage, you can gain an equal amount of life points. And if you do, special summon 1 Sunvine monster from your extra deck. Okay, so it says it can't be targeted for attacks, and your opponent can attack you directly if they want. But if they do, you get to plus. That's pretty cool. That's kind of a daring little, like, get me off the field or you're going to get punished by it. Not half bad. And you have the targeting protection cards. If they try and remove it because they can't really afford to kill it by battle or go in directly, you can potentially punish them for it. So that's definitely kind of cool. I think it's a pretty powerful Link 1 monster for sure. Next up we have SUNAVALON Dryades. It's a Link 2 Earth Plant, another 0 attack, so okay. Bottom left, bottom right, so it does have the downward diagonal arrows, which is nice. And it takes any 2 plant monsters, including a SUNAVALON Link, so you're probably using this guy. So it kind of just takes 2 links, or 2 plants, essentially, which is pretty cool. It has 2 effects. The first effect reads, it cannot be targeted for attacks, but does not prevent your opponent from attacking directly. And up to twice per turn, if you take battle damage or effect damage, you can gain an equal amount of life points. And if you do, special summon 1 Sunvine monster from your extra deck. Now, one thing I'm curious about is, can you deal yourself life points, like, to trigger this off? Like, does paying life points as cost count? It does say effect damage, so I guess it wouldn't work there. It'd have to be the actual effect dealing you damage that you'd have to play, but I guess it theoretically could. And it's up to twice per turn. You do just get any free Sunvine monster from the extra deck. Not half bad. I honestly think both of these are pretty cool. All right. Okay. I want to see something a little more proactive, though. A lot of this seems really reactive. I want to see some push plays, some stuff you can do without having your opponent do stuff to you. All right. First effect reads. Oh, I'm sorry. On this one, we have Dryanome, SUNAVALON Dryanome. This is a Link 3 Earth plant. Has 0 attack again, points bottom left, bottom, and bottom right, so 3 down arrows. That's pretty nice. And it takes any 2 or more plant monsters. Also nice, kind of generic for plants. Its first effect reads, it cannot be targeted for attacks, but does not prevent your opponent from attacking directly, of course. Second effect, up to 3 times per turn. If you take battle or effect damage, gain that life points back, and if you do, special summon a Sunvine monster from your extra deck. Okay, up to 3 times. And the third effect, once per turn, when a monster this card points to is targeted for an attack, you can negate that attack, and if you do, move the attack target to another of your main monster zones. Okay, so it kind of moves it out of these extra monster zones, kind of opens up more zones to do stuff. Okay, you negate, and it just negates attacks. Okay, so it's very, like, battle negate heavy, like, very, very, like, scaring your opponent out of the battle phase if they can't clear your board first. Okay, not bad, not bad. And of course there's a Link 4. Of course there is. This is SUNAVALON Dryatrentia. Okay, it's a Link 4 Earth, of course. 0 attack, points top, bottom left, bottom, and bottom right. So 3 down arrows and 1 up arrow. It takes any 2 or more Link monsters. This one's like completely generic. If this card is Link Summon, you can add a SUNAVALON spell or trap from your deck to the hand. That could be great. We're going to see what those spells and traps can do. Second effect, cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Also cannot be targeted for attacks, but does let your opponent attack directly if they so choose. And once per turn, you contribute 1 Link monster this card points to destroy all cards. No, sorry, to destroy cards your opponent controls up to the tributed monster's Link rating. Now that is some proactive ass shit right there. Wow, okay, so that's non-targeting, but it does destroy. But, I mean, Tribute to Link 3, pop 3 cards. Not bad. Tribute to Link 2, pop 2 cards. Now, this card is pretty weak. Doesn't have any stats, but we do have, you know, a free search off of it. So it's a +1, and then it can tribute a card to then just like start clearing a board. That's kind of cool. I'm definitely about this card. This one definitely seems like it has some pretty good payoff. Unfortunately, it is a Link 4, so you do have to go pretty far to get to this, but the deck seems like it does have some Link climb potential. It's not too bad. So, from here, we're going to get into our Sunvine cards. Maybe these are the more offensive cards. We'll see. This guy is Vine Gardner. He's a Link 1 Earth Plant Link monster. 600 attack, so not too crazy, but it does have a link arrow that points straight up. Its material is 1 plant normal monster, so again, you're trying to use that seed, or maybe you could use something like Angel Trumpeter. We'll see. First effect, if a SUNAVALON Link monster you control leaves the field by a card effect, destroy this card. Okay, not great. Second effect, when an attack is declared involving this card, that's linked to a SUNAVALON Link monster and an opponent's monster, you can activate this effect. Have the battle damage you take from that battle. Okay, again, not that crazy. And when this card is destroyed by battle, you can end the battle phase after the end of the damage step. Okay, so this guy's not really doing much for you. He has an effect that's like bad because he destroys himself. He gives you like he like stops some battle damage, and he ends the battle phase after he's battled. So I'm not really seeing too much out of him. These things specifically, special a Sunvine monster for the extra deck, so these would be the ones you're summoning after them. But okay. Next up, we have Sunvine Healer. All right, she's a Link 1 Earth Plant Link effect monster with 600 attack and an arrow that points straight up. Her materials are again 1 plant normal monster, totally fine because you're also pulling these out of the deck for free. If a SUNAVALON Link monster you control leaves the field by card effect, destroy this card. Whatever. Second effect, if this card is special summoned, you can target 1 SUNAVALON Link monster on the field and gain life points equals to its rating times 300. Okay, so she gains you some life points, nothing crazy there. And then when your plant Link monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can gain 600 life points. All right, it's fine. I almost would like if it burned you, because at least if it burned you, so these cards would like trigger, right? Because these don't do anything. Yeah, you have to take battle damage to get these effects. So I almost wish that these would like deal you battle damage so that you could then extend even further. But unfortunately, it does not do that. Okay, and now we have a guy that looks a little more offensive. This is Vine Thrasher. Okay, show us something good, Vine Thrasher. This is a Link 1 Earth Plant Link effect monster. 800 attack, so still pretty weak, but he does point down at least, so that's new. And he does take, again, 1 plant normal monster. If a SUNAVALON Link monster or monsters you control leaves the field by card effect, destroy this card. Pretty standard. If this card is special summoned, you can target a SUNAVALON monster on the field, and this card gains attack equal to its Link rating times 800. That's permanent. Keep that in mind, okay? So you summon this, and he immediately can get that. So summon this under the Link 1, and he can immediately become 1600. Nothing crazy there, but under the Link 2, 2400. Under the Link 3, 3200. And under the Link 4, he would become 4,000 immediately, which is actually pretty cool. All right, I'm into that, kind of. Okay. And the third effect, when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can special summon that monster to your zone a Link monster points to, but its effects are negated. What I like is this all happens in the battle phase. There's no stipulation there. You can just summon it and then attack again. So after you clear the last monster out of the way, you reborn it, and you get to like push with more damage. And it doesn't seem like there's there was one effect that locks you into plants, but that's pretty much it. Which one of these locks you into plants? Was it one of the main deck cards? This one. Yeah, this one. Okay, so this is the only card that locks you into plants. So other than that, if you didn't use that card, you would still be able to use that monster as link fodder to anything else if you wanted. So that's generic. But then we get to some Sunvine spells, it looks like. Oh, a trap and a spell. They're both continuous. We'll see. All right, we'll start off with Sunvine Shrine. It's a continuous spell. Activate this card by sending 1 card from your hand to the graveyard while you control a SUNAVALON Link monster. Okay, so take some setup. You have to have a SUNAVALON Link monster, and you have to send a card from hand to grave. Okay, interesting. First effect reads, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except plants. Okay, Great, that hurts. Once per turn, you can special summon 1 level 4 lower plant normal monster from your graveyard. That's a pretty nice extension. Just once per turn, get a free plant normal back. Okay. And once per turn, during your opponent's end phase, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard to target a continuous trap in your graveyard and set it to your spelling trap zone. Interesting that it's any continuous trap. That could be a generic floodgate. That could be the continuous trap we're about to look at. But definitely an interesting set of effects. It is just a good extender for the Monster Reborn effect. But like the first effect stinks, the second effect is pretty good, and the third effect is very, very interesting. You can just trade this card to set any other continuous trap from grave. Very interesting. Okay. And then we have our continuous trap, which is SUNAVALON Bloom. This is a continuous trap card. You can only activate one of this card, one card with this card's name once per turn. And you can only use the second effect once per turn as well. This card's name. Okay, yeah. First effect, when this card is activated, if you control a Link 4 or higher plant Link monster, you can negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. So that's a disruption. Just to blanket negate everything they control. Ideally, this seems like turn 1, you're going to try and get set up with the Link 4 to then just use this and blanket shut down your opponent's board. Then on the next turn, use the Link 4 to pop all your opponent's stuff and go to town. Second effect reads, if your plant Link monster battles, during damage calculation, you can make it gain attack equal to the total attack of all monsters it points to until the end of this turn. Okay, that's kind of interesting, especially if you have this guy and he's at least like 2400. That essentially means just like whenever they battle, they're at least 2400. Your opponent can't attack them, but when you go battle phase, you're just like 2400, 2400, 2400 swinging at your opponent. So this does give you some nice disruption, while at the same time giving you a little bit more offensive pressure in terms of the battle phase, which is not bad. I think this card really helps support some of the weaknesses the deck seemed to already have. Like I said, the deck seemed like pretty passive, not a lot of like proactive cards that go after your opponent, but this card definitely does a better job of that, giving the boost as well as giving a negate, a blanket negate, just everything. Not too bad, right? All right. So overall, what am I thinking? I'm thinking some of these cards are interesting. The real key here is to keep in mind plants already have a pretty like respectable engine. I mean, they've been the best deck in the game, just generic plant-based decks. You know, we've seen like Sylvans be the best deck in the game. We have consistency cards like Lone Fire Blossom and stuff. So we definitely have some cool cards. We're definitely gonna have to see what the synergy is there and how it works, because it seems like pretty generically the deck seems to just work with plants pretty well. Yeah, like Aromatherapy Jasmine has a pretty powerful like plant link monster. So we're really just gonna need to delve into this and really see the synergies, but I think it's fine. I think you have definitely some nice cards. This card seems pretty good. The links definitely seem like pretty respectable. They are a little bit reactive, but if you can like force your opponent into a situation where they kind of have to act, you can definitely get some nice pluses off them. And it's unique. It's definitely super unique. So I'm excited to see how this really turns out. Maybe there's some synergies I'm missing out on here off the top of my head. I'm just reading this for the first time. So throw that down in the comment section down below. What am I missing? Also, I didn't expect this many cards. How many cards is it? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 SUNAVALON / Sunvine cards. That's pretty cool. Yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. This is kind of overwhelming. I was not expecting a reveal this big for this set. I thought we were just going to get like, oh, a couple of this archetype cards. Oh, a couple of this archetype cards. Not just like 13 cards for a brand new archetype that we've never had in the TCG. That you've probably only seen if you've only watched the anime. So I'm excited to see what this deck can do. I'm definitely curious about it. I'm definitely going to look more into it for sure. And yeah, so like I said, leave your comments down below on what you think of this archetype so far. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I will see you in the next video. This video is already way too long. Peace.